At the outset, I would like to thank Dr. Nagaraj Desai for giving this opportunity. Incidence of congenital heart disease at birth is 8 per 1000 live births. But this excludes the bicuspid aortic valve, which can be seen in nearly 2% of the population. Conditions with favorable natural history will survive to adulthood, whereas conditions with unfavorable natural history may survive with a corrective or a palliative procedures. The most frequently seen congenital heart disease in the adults are simple left-right shunt, the most common being atrial septal defect seen in up to 40% of the congenital heart disease. Small VSD, small PDAs also may be seen. Bicuspid aortic valve can be seen throughout life with one or the other complications. Other obstructive lesions like coarctation of aorta, pulmonary stenosis, pink fallows, mild Epstein's anomaly, and corrected transpositions can also present during adult life. The common cyanotic heart diseases which we see in adults is the tetralogy of Fallot and tetralogy-like conditions. Next common is Eisenmenger's, rarely Epstein's anomaly, and other cyanotic heart diseases. Operated CHD, operated congenital heart diseases like complete repair or palliative repairs also can be seen. Cyanotic heart disease, congenital heart disease in adults may present with heart failure, which is the leading cause of death, arrhythmias, thromboembolic complications, pulmonary artery hypertension, and infective endocarditis. So congenital heart disease is a lifelong chronic condition with multiple admissions. They need multiple surgeries, interventions. They may have endocarditis, pregnancy issues, reduced quality of life, arrhythmia, sudden cardiac death, and ultimately they have a reduced life expectancy. So briefly about management of some of the diseases which are common, that is the atrial septal defect, which is seen in 40% of the adults, and the secondum ASD is the most common among them. The closure is best if it is done before 25 years. After 40 years, you cannot prevent arrhythmias, but at any age if you close, the symptoms can be improved, provided it can be done with a device. Device closure is seen to be same success rate, it has same success rate as surgery. Several studies have shown that the complication rates are less than 1%. They need antiplatelet drugs like aspirin 75 milligrams for 6 months. Which patient should be closed? If the shunt is more than 1.2:1 with RV volume overload and the PVR should be less than 3 Wood units, then ASD closure helps. The method of choice is device closure. In elderly patients, if cannot be closed with the device, the surgical benefit versus the risk should be weighed. So if between 3 to 5, ASD closure should be considered if the shunt is more than 1.5:1 because it is shown to decrease pulmonary artery pressure and improve symptoms. Beyond 5 Wood units, there is no definite data to support closure. It should be contraindicated in patients with exercise-induced desaturation or resting desaturation. Vasoreactivity testing is not recommended in these patients. Coming to bicuspid aortic valve, the most common cause of aortic stenosis seen in 60 to 80%, and majority of them will develop ascending aortic dilatation causing a higher risk of dissection. There is a small risk of infective endocarditis throughout life. The recurrence in the first degree relatives is around up to 10%, so they need echo screening to detect this. Coarctation of aorta is a generalized aortopathy. They can have associated aortic aneurysms, and bicuspid aortic valve is a common association, and 10% of them can have intracranial aneurysms. When it should close, the peak to peak gradient is more than 20 millimeter mercury with hypertension. The choice of closure is stenting. Covered stents are preferred because of lower complications. TOF unoperated is the most common cyanotic heart disease we see in adults. Corrective surgery can be done with a mortality of less than 5%, but the complications are more. If high risk patients are in unsuitable anatomy, a palliative balloon dilatation of the valve or RVOT stenting can be considered. Operated off, they have a long survival of 30 to 40 years in 90% of the patients, but they need annual checkup because they are prone for complications, especially if you put a transannular patch, there is a risk of progressive pulmonary regurgitation, which initially is well tolerated. Eventually they develop RV dysfunction and they will need pulmonary valve replacement. Other complications like residual RVOT obstruction, residual VSD, aortic dilatation with aortic regurgitation, they may present with heart failure due to ventricular dysfunction and various arrhythmias and increased risk of sudden cardiac death, especially if the QRS duration is more than 180 milliseconds. In general, cyanotic patients have multi-system disease. They have higher risk of bleeding and thrombotic complications. So, unnecessary use of aspirin, NSAID and anticoagulation should be avoided, and routine phlebotomies, which is routinely done in many patients with cyanotic heart disease, should be avoided because it causes iron deficiency, and the iron deficiency make them prone for stroke. So when phlebotomy should be done? Only when they have severe hyperviscosity symptoms with hematocrit more than 65 to 70%. Below 65%, the symptoms are likely to be iron deficiency or dehydration. These two things should be ruled out because they can also cause similar symptoms. So remove 300 to 500 ml of blood, which should be replaced with saline. Make sure that they are iron repleted with iron supplements. Finally, pulmonary artery hypertension, which is a progressive disease with poor prognosis. Even after defect closure, the pH can progress. The drugs which reduce pulmonary hypertension like sildenafil, tadalafil and bosentan, ambrisentan have shown to be beneficial. They should be used either in initial combination therapy or sequential combination. In high-risk patients, IV prostanoids can be used. Last, Eisenmenger syndrome. The survival is better compared to other PH, but surgery is not an option in most of the patients. So they need to be educated properly. They should avoid volume depletion, extreme heat, strenuous exercise, high altitude and long distance air travel. And the woman with Eisenmenger syndrome should be counseled against pregnancy. These are the other contraindications for pregnancy in a patient with congenital heart disease: severe LV dysfunction, systemic right ventricle with moderate to severe dysfunction, severe left-sided obstructive lesions like symptomatic AS, severe coarctation, and a bicuspid aortic valve with aortic dimension more than 50 millimeter. Estrogen-containing contraceptives are potentially harmful in patients with high risk of thromboembolic events, so it should be avoided in patients when they have cyanosis, pulmonary hypertension, or Fontan physiology. To summarize, adult congenital heart disease is a growing challenge. The incidence is selected by natural history. We have increasing incidence of operated CHD now. The management needs a core team with special training in multiple other specialties like this. Thank you.
Thank you so much.